giving people tips. I just like sharing what I know. This girl made a TikTok this morning and she's talking about reading. And I said, I never like to read, it impedes my imagination. My imagination is better than anything I ever read. Patterns are my jam. She goes, ooh, I love that. We have been, or wait, what? And then she asked me what I use to track patterns, and I said astrology. Ooh, I love that. We have been wanting to learn more, but I haven't caught anyone talking about how they discovered it when it clicked. But I can talk about it when it clicked. The entire picture just came together. Unfortunately, it feels like it's talking in circles because metaphors are everywhere. I break it down for the intelligent in layman's terms. Well, it seems that less people are going to be celebrating the made-up holiday Santa Psychop of Xmas this year. And I am not sad for it. Christmas is dumb. It's just more means for people to appeal to the for beings without emotions to appeal to the emotions of beings with emotions, is how I look at it. So we never really participated in those reindeer games, and we're always the outsider. It's our role in life, just so we can show the insiders how what they're doing is oh so weird. Anyway, I said today I'm in Redding, California. On all my talks, I say I'm someplace I've been before. Because wherever we go, we leave a little piece of who we are. Energetically, you know. Some people do it literally. They'll just leave trash everywhere, you know. I left a pretty big imprint there. I still know people there, but I moved away in 2000 when I went into the military. Went back for like high school reunions, stuff like that. But they're flooding. Redding is underwater. The armpit of California. That's Redding. It's getting scrubbed away. We moved up there in 1981. I was just turned 7 years old. 1980. I'd seen a lot of different like water events there. What is happening now has never, ever, 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 ever happened in the history of me that I can remember. It's never been that bad. So that just goes to show a lot more people are not going to be doing the holidays because Redding's going to get more water. See, Earth is an Etch-a-Sketch, and all we are to do is be the custodians of the Earth and make sure waterways are clear and drains are clear, and you know everybody's fed and has. When the storms are coming, they have a place to go to stay out of the you know all that stuff. Redding didn't do that. Redding didn't do that. Redding lived for Bethel, the church, the little church where they do their woo-woo stuff, right? They pick people out of the community. Oh, you got the woo? Come to our church and do woo for us, and then we can get paid for money that's not real. And we can allow who gets to come and live in Redding, and it's just all a bunch of hodgepodge, just like every other town. Just like all the other towns, because all towns are songs. That's what a town is. It's a song. The town I live in is Taos, New Mexico. The song in Taos is bop, bop. Redding is more like So, like the devil went down to Georgia. That's like a song for Reading. You know? Like it's a dark, dark place. It's a place I got kicked in the face and knocked down a flight of stairs. It's a place that mom had to go freaking down to the morgue to identify her friend Diana, because she just went out for a Friday night to have a good time and then ended up going down a boat ramp in Shasta Lake. And mom didn't want her daughters to have to identify her, so mom went and did it. It's just kind of lady my mom is. But yeah, Reading has a lot of dirt needs to be washed away. Good riddance, Reading. Maybe you'll figure out how to disperse wealth a little bit, huh? Every town has their heroes. They make these towns, they build towns like they're people, right? Like these people can't fail. And Reading got weird a long, long, long time ago. Heck, they got a place down below the Freemason Lodge, where the Freemasons gathered. All the Judge Eaton relatives and all that stuff, right? Called Lost Lanes. I talked to a lady about 4 years ago. There's still women that go there from her church to pray over the rock, the bloodstained rock, where people have taken the lives of other things to serve their weird freaking ideologies. You don't get to take the life of another. What are you, God? What are people, look at society today. Look at America. What happened to America? It's over. It's another civilization that has collapsed in less than, 250 years? Some books say 84. So, it's just cycles. Everything's just a cycle. And if within that cycle, there's too many entities that have their own weird butt stuff agendas, and then people start seeing what they can get away with, they just keep doing more and more and more, because nobody's going to stop them anyway. And they gather in groups, and they call themselves militaries, and they call themselves this, and they call themselves that. And all they exist to do is cause harm and destruction and chaos in the lives of others, because they get their little rocks off from it. And most people don't want to live that way. They say most people are decent. Isn't decent for so many people to sit back and watch others suffer? Is that what decent people do? I don't think so. So now the balance on the scale is coming back around, because there's been too many beings had too many good lives for too long, and they just sat there in all their goodness while being surrounded by people that were struggling, and they didn't do nothing to help them. So guess what? More will struggle. More will struggle, while those that have helped, they'll somehow get out of that flood. Life is a miraculous thing. And for those that don't believe, or those that do believe that there's 8 billion people on this planet, it makes my heart happy to hear more and more people are in alignment with what I say, and that is not the case. That there's maybe, I think there's maybe a billion, maybe. Because I've been all over this world, and I've driven around a lot. I've driven back roads. I've driven this house, that house. And you go to town, and another thing I do is I look at a lot of real estate. Real estate all over the place. There are empty houses everywhere. Where did these people go that lived in these houses? Did they all die of COVID? Did they move to Mexico to live a better life for less money? Well, The cracks of society get wider and wider. Towns are getting smaller. Populations. I went through one year. Because I take care of mom, and I got a lot of time on my hands because she, she's pretty self-reliant. I just gotta make sure she gets, she eats and drinks water and, gets clean and stuff like that. And so I used to do things like I went to Wikipedia, looked up every county in California, added up the population of every county, and it does not add up to 38 million, however many they say there's. It's just they round up to the nearest million. So what it's called allocated funds, folks. People in government designate funds to help their people, and then they don't have they don't know how to help their people because they've never needed help. Because people that are in positions of authority, they don't know how to take care of themselves. They're taken care of by their families. Like they have spouses that take care of the kids while they go off to work. And if something calls, then somebody else takes care of it. And even in the military, you think a military officer can change his own tire? Very few can. Very few are capable. You have a lot of people out here. I tried to start to watch that Amrit guy. He seems like a pretty cool dude. And he had that Steve guy on, that astrologer, Steve Jobs. And I've heard that guy talk about, ooh, let's go out and drink whiskey when you come over, Rick Levine. Talking all your big machismo man stuff, you're going to do your pride. I heard that talk. And, but then you talk to this guy over here and alcohol bad. But you don't say that you don't partake in it. It's just, there's all these false for profits everywhere. And I'm noticing it started with Peace Dealer. Now it's Steve, that Steve Judd guy. Now it's all these astrologers. Now Lori Lothian even did it. She's an Aries. I thought she was going to I didn't think she was going to do paid only membership content. See, I'm trying to create a world of inclusion. See, and when more people are doing this, members pay me fake money so I can go on vacations to Mexico every 3 months. I haven't been on a fucking vacation in 7 years, and I keep watching these same gurus, spiritual giants out there fucking every 3 months. They're, someplace else, relaxing and recuperating from overpricing people for a fucking astrology chart. I even made these stickers, see? Straight people like rainbows too. I came up with it back in 86. I was 9 years old. I was 84, 5. I went to Rother. I still have the picture. It's in there. I came up with this because I found out some guy down in San Francisco came up with the rainbow flag. And then the gays were kind of trying to take it. And I was like, nobody gets the rainbow flag. You don't get the rainbow. But see, I'm autistic. So this rainbow makes more sense to me. I'm also indigenous. I'm native to the land of America. I'm also half lizard, that colonial blood. But it doesn't matter what people are. What matters is what people do with what they are. I got so many abilities. I was a mechanic in the military, worked on all kinds of systems. My body, I knew, wasn't going to hold out from that, so I went in IT. I went that route. So I'm like all about tech support. I'm all about helping people with their problems. I'm also autistic, like I said, so I get taken advantage a lot. I could do a lot more if I had help. But what happens is I start working with people, and then I start seeing how my energy, I'm using more of my energy, spending things on things that they want me to do, and it takes me away from things that I want to do. And I don't want to do that no more. I want to make a travel center for travelers to come and be able to work on their cars out of the freezing cold elements. And I want to have a nice outdoor kitchen where people to come, and if you don't know how to cook, that's okay. I'll cook for you. And I want to have a place where people can come and do laundry and take showers and get a haircut if you want. Because more and more people don't have places to go. That's why, like to see so many people sad about Christmas is just weird, because so few people, if you add up all the beings that are on the planet, most people don't give a crap about it. But you have this small group, the appeal to emotioners. It's always, go along with what we want. Come on. Be a good sport. Don't spoil it for everyone. And I'm all, fuck you. Santa's a psychop. Stop lying to your kids. Because then they're going to grow up and then they're going to think those little I voted stickers are going to matter too one day. And that isn't the case either. It's just more and more. I've been saying it for 8-9 years. And more people are seeing it. I'm going to keep saying it till I start hearing these words out of people's mouth. Washington, D.C. is an extension of Hollywood. Sports is just as much as a contrived reality as religion. All the people in the churches. All these people having their part. All it does is supposed to get people, look, we're going to keep doing what we want because they're not going to stop us. Until people get mad enough to stand up and start turning tables. See, I'm not a violent being. I'm a peaceful being. I'm not a violent being. I have all this astrology in me that says, be violent, and be violent. But I'm a contrarian, so I'm going to do opposite. I'm not going to be violent because I'm not going to be a product of environment. I'm not going to let them win. I came from people that hit little girls because I was a little girl that got hit. They were big, strong men, because they were fearful. Because I was a little girl, but I was still a contender, and I wasn't afraid of them. And people don't like it when you're not afraid of them. They hate you when you aren't afraid. And I would rather freaking, go out a really horrible way, not in fear. Because I won't. Because I lived in fear, and I'm not going to let somebody take my faith from me. Because even if something bad happens to me, and there ain't nobody to take around it, take care of mom, I would not want to be that person that left mom by herself. I would not want that karmic retribution. And that's what people don't get, is that you get rebuted. You get what harm you put out, you get back. I know this. I learned it years because I was so angry. I was so mad because I had so many emotions. I didn't even know what to do with them, and I didn't even want them. And then at some point, I get mad because I was resentful because why did I have to be a female? Because guys don't have all these emotions. And then you know what I started noticing? Men have more emotions than we do, because if they didn't, they wouldn't get so angry and try to hurt people. That is powerlessness. When people get angry and want to hit you, that is because they feel powerless in whatever is going on in their mind, and that is the control that they take, is to cause harm. And I've never, ever in my whole 51 years on this earth have ever hit somebody just because I was mad. But I've been hit. My own brother freaking slammed my head into the ground. He was a state wrestler. I had to learn to defend myself. So what man am I going to believe is going to be the good one when my own father and brother are monsters? That's a reality that I had a long time ago. And then because of my masculinity in a female body, men feel threatened by me and have freaking bullied me my whole entire life. And then I just give them back, what they give. And then they get livid, and then they lose control. this astrologer guy was talking about how, because they were talking about the cycles of the moon and how women's cycles line up. And I'm like, dude, men have their own cycles. You know, this guy's talking about how men have to shave more. They have to shave more when the moon is full. Well, that's like female stuff, but they don't want to admit it, right? We're the same. The only difference between males and females is the one's outside, one's inside. Like, and what if doctors are deciding the whole time who's gonna be what? Maybe that's why we're the experiment. When I was a baby, they put stuff in mom when I was in vitro. Heck, I was probably supposed to be a dude, but they just kept giving me hormones and then bloop, bloop, bloop. That's probably why I always thought that I was born in the wrong body. Thank goodness I didn't go that transgender. You know, just give people the freedom to do whatever they want. And they'll do all the weird stuff they want. God don't make junk. So whatever, you know, I'm female, born female. Thank God I'm freaking postmenopausal. Oh my God. I didn't have a lot of hot flashes. To me, that's energy. And I see men have hot flashes. I'm at the store. I see dudes like, dude, are you okay? Can I get you a rag? They're just like... They're having hot flashes is what they're doing. They're having an external response, internal response to external circumstances. Whether it's like, because people can think of things. The time I had the most hot flashes is when mom's dog was at the end of her life. And that was like rough. But it was also my body going through all kinds. All we do is change. We evolve. That's all we do. And we live on a planet that constantly evolves and changes too. Yet people without practical skills came up with all these systems. They came up with so many systems. They can't change a tire. They can't cook. They won't clean. They won't do anything to make, you know, their environment better for everybody. Yeah, there's a lot of people that live in a house that never built a house. You know, there's a lot of people that get a lot of creature comforts and they never had to do any heavy lifting, and that in itself is an imbalance. That oven in itself is an imbalance. Like, you taken a lot of showers, you flushed a lot of toilets, but you ain't never plunged one or cleaned one. That's an imbalance. So people forget who and what they came from. So now Earth is an etch-a-sketch. You know, creator didn't do it right again. Let's start over. Let's see if they figure out how to take care of others and themselves. Or just themselves. But humanity always gets to a point where people just take care of themselves and do what they want. How many dudes come across my FYP that, you know, that have a studio of some sort with a microphone in a studio, and they just sit there and they talk? But what have they ever done? Like, what have they ever done? I honestly, legitimately want to know. Because I think about my path and all the things that I've done and the experience that I gain, and these people, they talk like they have experience, and if I were to sit and talk with them, I would surely I would get them to see the experience that they have is none. Is based off of other people's experience. You read a book, you're taking on somebody else's other experience. I've never been a reader. Reading puts me to sleep. Reading's boring to me. I've read plenty, but I have to work harder to do what other people do. Because I'd rather be out there watching the birds than reading a book about the birds and writing a report on what other people say about birds. Like a regurgitated parrot. There's a lot of us thinkers out here. Most of us just don't do these talks. They don't get on social media because it's stupid. I just have this little aspect in my chart that says, you know what, it's stupid, but I'm going to do it anyway because world needs to know that people like me exist. That say America's a lie. Wars are made up so dudes can drop bombs and go boom diddy boom so they can feel like men so they come back to America. And then they look around, they're like, I can't do anything that goes boom here to make me feel like a man. But good thing there's a little blue pill called Viagra, because mostly people don't evolve past 15 years in mentality wise. Still, I'm 15 in my mind. Like, you know, I knew, because that's when mom had her, like, my life stopped pretty much, kind of. Like, my timeline stopped in 1989 when a man slammed mom's head in a car door. And I went to the hospital. I took her to the hospital. I rode her through the ambulance. And I look at 15-year-old kids now and I'm just like, what would you do if your mommy's head got slammed in a car door and you were all by yourself? Because that happened to me. There was no adult. There was no agency. There was no CPS. There was no system. There was no friend that came in and said, hey, Marge, come crash with me. You know, like, you figure out you don't got nobody. Unless you're one of those people that have everybody. Because I have known those people. There's this guy that I had the unfortunate circumstance of having to make his acquaintance at one point. He's a dirty cop in Philadelphia. Dude's a scumbag. His name's Bobby Coyle. Because it's not just Bobby Coyle. He is the tip, because they're all Bobby Coyles. So all the little tiny boys that feel inferior and that, you know, and they have all different backgrounds. A lot of them have, like, my brother, and my brother's a Bobby Coyle. They had a mom that would try to put them on the right course, but they wouldn't take it because we all have masculine and feminine in us. And the little machismos that like to deny the feminine overcompensate in the masculine. And so they go out and they bully and they, oh, I'm the boss of you. And they, you know, they control and they dominate and do all this weird stuff. They join fraternities. They enlist in the military as military police. Did you know the police are the second lowest test scores in the military entrance exam? So you need to get a 36 to be in service, to like wipe down the gym equipment at the gym. Or, like, the support staff, you know, like the little bitches of the military, like, we'll let you because we don't want to clean the toilet, so we'll let you. Well, SPs are right above them, yet they're given guns. I was in age. I got a freaking 96 on the ASVAB. I didn't join the military when out of high school because I couldn't be controlled. But what happened was mom got her head slammed in a car door, and I knew then that I was going to be her caregiver in the future. So I needed to get a job, go to college, get a job, do something where I could take care of myself financially and mom too. So that set the course of my life. Now I'm 51, gonna be 52. Mom just turned 75. She's still happy. She's healthy. She's content. We laugh every day. She's joyful. You know what? And what have I noticed is that all of the predators have just advanced in life while the cracks of society get wider, and people are figuring it out. Like that dude that his kid, that like all that stuff that happened. Like, you let people do whatever they want. At some point, they're gonna want to do something that they're gonna want to cause harm. They don't have any discipline. They've never been taught, don't cause harm. They just do whatever they want. And then when you just have people that have always done whatever they want, and they run out of stuff that they want to do, and they got that kinky, freaky side to them. Yeah, there's all kinds of freaking houses all over the place with dentist chairs in them, small ones, big ones. I mean, this is a fact of life when you live in the United States of America. That's why it's washing away. That's why the dirt is cleansing, because there's too much grossness, and like there's too many people that have profited from it. There's too many people like you. People know what evil is. They do. See, I don't live unconsciously. I live a conscious life. Every time I get angry, I know exactly why I'm angry. I don't wonder. I don't have bouts of, I went red. I didn't know what I was doing. That is bullshit. That is a cop out. See, because reality, the way I see it, it's created more in this, what people call the subconscious. Oh, did I do that? I didn't mean it's all bullshit. Yeah, you did. You knew exactly what you were doing. You're just lying about it. Because that's what controllers do. They lie to control and manipulate and create their surroundings how they want it, what's comfortable for them. That's why we have Christmas, when most people don't celebrate the stupid holiday, but some people do. But they're all about, don't ruin it for everybody else. It's dumb. When anybody makes millions of gazillions of dollars, well, so many people are just, it's just not fair. It's not fair. I am so grateful every day to wake up with a roof over my head, because one of my greatest fears that I had to transmute is not being homeless with my mom and dogs. Because we had 5 dogs, a cat, and mom, and I was just like, I don't have the credit score, and people are too flaky. Landlords are flaky. Landlords suck. Because in New Mexico, because that's what landlords do? They will charge you so much rent that you will pay the mortgage of the house that you're staying in and the mortgage of the house that they're staying in too. And then they won't fix shit. And then they'll let the utilities go without and get mad at you for freaking having after not having running water for 2.5 years, when you explained exactly what the problem is, but they couldn't draw a sober enough breath to fucking look into it, because I didn't matter, right? Because people don't think I matter. I matter. I always matter. I'm like, I don't know. I found this letter that Mom wrote to me 13 years ago, and it has 39 ways that she appreciates me. And this letter is like, it's like a resume, because I think, how many freaking moms and daughters hate each other? And she came up with 39 things that she appreciates about me. 39. Like being there and how much I care. And that's my mom. And so that's like a testament of who the person I really am. And I look at like people, like, quite frankly, he don't even say thank you. Like, your mom and dad didn't teach you to say thank you when somebody sends you a gift. Like, you couldn't even say, hey, thank you, I get a thumbs up if you got it. That's fucking rude. But that's okay, because I'll never sit and talk with you, because we're not the same. Because I take care of my mom. And you're just taken care of. And people that have always been taken care of, we don't live on the same planet, because they only know how to take care of themselves. They don't know what happened. What happens is like, that's the thing, is everybody is just an accident. What if it's their accident or somebody that they love accident? Like, what happens if something, God forbid, that something terrible happened, like happened to my mom? And, they had to be a like imagine doing your talk. Oh, okay, excuse me, I gotta go wipe my wife's ass. Or, like I can't see, quite frankly, or any of these other, these beings on social media that talk about all the wonderful things that they do. I just don't want to participate in Earth. I haven't for a long time because it's dumb. Because every place I try, I go here because I think this is gonna be fun, and then I go there, and then the people are dumb. And I don't want to go and do that thing because the people fucking ruin everything all the time. And I can go along to get along with anybody, but man, people are just so warped. They're just so warped with their me. I can't stand it. I can't stand self-absorbed people. I can't stand myself when I'm a self-absorbed person. It's character defects that aren't pretty. They're not pretty. I bet Shasta Lake's real full. I wonder if they say if the Shasta Dam broke. They say if the Shasta Dam broke, that Sacramento would see. Who are they? I just want to punch them in the junk. They say Sacramento would see a wall of water 22 feet tall. 22 feet tall. A wall of water. Like, it would not. It would dissipate. What? They don't know what they say. Anyway, I think I'm about done. Careful of those false for profits. When people are out there, trying to sell you their readings and their snake oil. I like giving stuff away because you know what I figured out? I figured out that when I go out and I make people smile and I give them my stickers. Give them my stickers. And I made caramel. I got some people that would really like to try my caramel. I'm going to make some more. I got my outdoor rig set up. My candy making station outdoors, see, because you can do things to be cool. And these cool things can make people happy. And then when they're happy, they go out and they like to spread their happy. That's how happy works. But we have this weird imbalance where people just like to make themselves happy. And they want to eat this to make themselves happy. They want to go there and make themselves happy. And as you know, with all the Epstein stuff for years and years, perverts just are never going to be satisfied. There are the beings on this earth that they will never be satisfied. And me and Mom learned a long time ago how to be satisfied with next to nothing. And just because we're grateful. Just to be grateful to have a roof over our head. And have a little electric heater that keeps the cold out, And be able to watch. Mom likes to watch TV. Have a nice TV for her to watch. And then I can go out and do all the things I need to do to buy food, go groceries, all that stuff, and then have my hobbies here at home that I can keep entertained and do what I like to do. I like to make candy, and then I have this program on my phone. It's called it's BZtronics. And then it has presets on it, and I can do migraines. Wait, these are all the presets that it has on it, right? And then I could set the frequencies for half hour, and then play them. Play it into the infused MCT oil or butter or whatever I use, and with the emulsifier, and then when people eat it, it will help with that ailments. That's my way of making medicine. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Because I like to do things that other people don't do. And frequencies really, that's all we are. All we are is a frequency. You just have people that have that low hum. They call it the Taos hum, the born and raised. The this is what we always done because this is how it's always been. And the stagnant and the stinky and the let the same control freaks in, sit in the same chairs for 30, 40, 50 years and no rotation of series of service. That's how it was intended to be, is rotation of service. Give everybody a chance to put their idea in the hat. Let's do it like this because your way didn't work. No, you got too many control freaks out there. My way is the highway and all this weird stuff, and all that's come crumbling down. And I'm, for one, I'm real happy about that. Pretty excited for that. Anyway, that's about I got for now. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.